We showed some great video from the NFL. There was some very interesting video from the NBA that we can't show you, but we can talk about it. Let's go behind the curtain. Houston Rockets had practice yesterday. John Wall was there. Guess who wasn't there? James Harden. And then James Harden had a workout scheduled, individual workout scheduled for the evening because of COVID-19 protocols. He couldn't join the team for practice. He didn't show up to that either. But where did he show up? Oh, little baby's birthday. We had some video from that. And where else did he show up? Out of an environment that looked a lot like a gentleman club with a man that looked a lot like James Harden inside, not wearing a mask. Mr. Rose, take us behind the curtain. What kind of message does this send when you are James Harden, you're not playing basketball with the team, and you are playing in the streets of Atlanta?
Well, a couple of things. I just hope him saying allegedly that he doesn't want to be with the Rockets now affect his professionalism in doing his job, which is then going to start costing him money, and it's going to start costing him fans. I don't want that to happen for him. I believe that each of these things are actually isolated, Jacoby. If you think about it, the season just ended, they were in the bubble. Each time when they were about to go in the bubble, people was like, we about to go do a bid. When you saw the NBA come out with those rules and restrictions about COVID, of what they can't do.
I think he broke a couple. So
for me, he was like, I'm about to get it in right now. Little baby's birthday, he came with a duffel bag, gave him a couple of $100,000. You know what I'm saying? He had to get back to the community. You know, during this time, you know, you got to take care of the
Service
people.
Employees need to be taken care of.
Absolutely. Essential workers. You know, James Harden will get his number retired at a couple of strip clubs in Houston before he leaves.
They scheduled an individual workout just for him. That means an assistant coach was there, maybe, you know, some ball boys were there, and they're sitting there waiting, looking at the door, waiting for James Harden to walk through it, and he did not walk through it. I think this is something that will be covered heavily in the next couple of days, and you will always see the updates here on Jalen and Jacoby. We also have this, a quarterback controversy in Philadelphia, and the Patriots beat the Chargers 45-0. So much to discuss. Make sure you stay tuned. You're watching Jalen and Jacoby.
Jalen and Jacoby is presented by...
Just showed up and showed out. Jalen, they scored a field goal and then 5 straight touchdowns in their first 6 possessions. What happened with the Browns?
You see what happened. Peoples Jones. Peoples Jones going deep. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdown passes in the first half, Jacoby. The team scored 5 total TDs. They were rumbling. I give the Titans credit for making it a football game, but it wasn't because Derrick Henry was running the ball and putting up big numbers. He actually fumbled. When I saw him fumble, Jacoby, I was like, whoa, Cleveland Browns defense out here playing physical.
Yep, that was the first time he has fumbled in 375 touches, and we all expected Henry to run all over this game in this defense. He did not. He had 15 attempts for only 60 yards. It wasn't just Baker, and I love watching Baker, especially when Baker's playing well and he's dancing and having fun. He's so exciting, but it wasn't just the offense and all the numbers they put up. The defense showed up as well. The final score, 41-35, and the onside kick, that does not reflect the waxing that these Browns put on the Titans, but things get tricky for the Browns from here. Right now, they sit at 9-3, but if you look at their upcoming games, they've got the Ravens, the surprising Giants, the Jets, they're definitely going to lose that one, and then the Steelers, 3 really tough games in their final 4, but they can prove who they are, and if they're truly a contender in the AFC in the next month of games. And Jalen, that one was exciting and a big game in the AFC. But one thing that we always say about the AFC is that the Chiefs are head and shoulders above every other team, not just in the AFC, but in the NFL. We say it's the Chiefs and then a big gap and then everybody else. But Jalen, last night I'm watching the game against the Broncos and they were losing. They did end up winning the game by 6 points, but it wasn't pretty. Are you concerned about the Chiefs sometimes playing down to competition, just barely squeaking out wins instead of blowing teams out?
I am not concerned. I want to give the Denver Broncos actually credit because when you hire a defensive coordinator to be your head coach, you expect them to compete on that side of the football. That's why my Lions are looking for a new coach because they tried to do that and it didn't work. But for the Kansas City Chiefs, Jacoby, they toying with the competition. You and I know it. Can we give the Chiefs some love? Please give the Cheetahs some love. For those that weren't watching this game, because they were playing the Broncos and the Broncos have a different person playing quarterback every quarter, look at the Cheetah. This is a touchdown catch.
He caught the ball, didn't even know he scored a touchdown.
They didn't even care. They didn't even challenge it. No, there's an offensive coordinator. There's a head coach. There's so many people that saw this video. It's people playing fantasy. It's people betting. Look at the Cheetah, dog. Look, we're going to do this every week. You know why he never sticks to landing? Because, A, you can tell that he ain't never even done that before. He's just trying stuff. He just trying stuff, and they got a penalty on that play. That's 2 touchdowns. He out there just bucket naked, wide open. And then the other one, Jacoby, how do you not challenge it? It cost some people some money, I'm for sure.
Well, I think he legit didn't know he caught it, but while I was watching that play, they ripped it out of him, and he caught it again. I was like, are we sure? Are we sure that he didn't catch that live? I was like, are we sure he didn't catch that? Because if you watch the end of this, it gets ripped out of his hands and he catches it again. But Jalen, you have a theory that they're toying with their competition. They're playing with their food. And their tight end, Travis Kelce, kind of backed up that theory a little bit because I was up late watching this game and I watched the post-game interview when Travis Kelce had something really interesting to say about that evening's competition. Take it away, Travis.
We just got to finish strong. I mean, hats off to the Raiders. They've done an unbelievable job the past 2 games of, presenting a challenge on 3rd downs and in the red zone. I mean, it is what it is. We got to keep fighting as it's so cold. Yay! Gotta love it, baby. Gotta love it, man.
Hats off to the Raiders? Did he say hats off to the Raiders after playing the Broncos, Mr. Rose? Did he just do that?
Dog, so many things in that soundbite. First and foremost, he was dead serious. It wasn't like the Tyronn Lue video where he couldn't remember Luke Kennard's name. Like, he was dead serious on the field of play, and he called them the Raiders, who, by the way, is their rival. The other thing, if he realized that he did it, and you know this as a media personality, if he was going to go back to it, he forgot his train of thought when Patrick Mahomes came and put the water on him. So he didn't give himself a chance to even fix it. But all in all, when you're playing with the competition, we used to say that would be bulletin board material for the rest of the league and rest of the AFC. Are we saying that? No, we're not saying that. We're not saying that because Kelce putting up crazy historic numbers this year, by the way.
Well, Kelce has put up huge numbers. We'll take a look at those. He's setting records at the tight end position. I mean, look at this. Just look at the ranks. And there's some great tight ends in the league. Waller's out there. Kittle's out there. There's great tight ends in this league, and he is ranked first in 5 straight seasons.
Man,
he has
I gotta tell you a secret,
plus receiving
Jacoby.
yards. 5 straight seasons.
I gotta tell you a secret. That's serious as this goatee. Like Walt Clyde Frazier would rock it, like Magic in '79, like Denzel in Training Day. The tight end spot is one of my favorites in the NFL. And just watching those numbers with Travis Kelce, it just made me think about so many all-time greats that played that position, and he just taking it to another level. We got to pay homage to the old-school tight ends, the Doug Cosbys, the Billy Joe Duprees, the Kellen Winslows. Absolutely, so many.
Jalen, we have some news. Defensive coordinator Greg Williams of the New York Jets was fired this morning. He is no longer with the Jets, and a lot of it has to do with the end of the game against the Raiders, in which the Jets had the lead in the football contest, and then this happened. It's been covered all day long today. Jalen, what are your thoughts about the all-out blitz at the end of the game?
Jacoby, you know I root for an NFL team that went winless for a season. You know I watched that up close and personal. Let me tell you something. I even watched the Browns when it happened because they are cousins for it. When you're 0-12, everybody contributes to your level of ineptitude and dysfunction. Everybody's horrible at their job. That's why when you look up this offseason, most if not all of the people in the front office and or in uniform are going to be elsewhere. So I'm not surprised that they fired the defensive coordinator, but here's what I'm surprised. That they had just given up a bomb opportunity to Nelson Aguilar.
Yes, show
and
that.
Carr overthrew it.
Yes, they were in a zone. In the previous play, they were in a zone. He's wide open. That's 2 in a row. That is 2 game-losing plays in a row with 2 different types of defense. It's almost not so much focus is being put on the call, where it's like there was a different call in the previous play, and they messed that up too. This is a loss for them. It's not just all on Greg Williams. Is a great point that I'm glad you're pointing out, Mr. Rose. However, Mr. Williams will no longer be with the Jets, and I do not believe the Jets are going to win a game. And somewhere Trevor Lawrence was watching all that go down, and he's like, man, I'm either going to be in Jacksonville or New York.
I want to see, and I know we're talking about Adam Schefter, our guy racing the cheetah. I really want to see him and Ruggs race. Now that'll be something.
Well, from one New York team going down